Hello and welcome back to Exothermic Plays Games. I'm Exothermic and I want to wish you all a happy Halloween. I've been doing a countdown of my favorite video games of all time through each day of the year, and today we are talking about something appropriately spooky, because coming in at number 62 is Super Mario Sunshine, a game where you go outside. Mario's been really hard at work having to save the Mushroom Kingdom all the time. His last appearance, though, as a captive of King Boo in Luigi's Mansion, must have really been especially traumatic for him, because he goes on a well-deserved vacation to the sunny beaches of Isle Delfino. This vacation plan is abruptly cut short when, upon your arrival to the tropical paradise, it's less than tropical and less than paradise. Everyone is panicking, there's a weird paint-like substance, and it's distinctly not sunny. In an effort to save the day, you put on a backpack that shoots out water and try washing the paint away. As an aside, I really appreciate that the flood, as it's called, is made by GAD Science Incorporated as a nod to Luigi's Mansion. So anyways, you wash away the paint and discover a giant piranha on the runway. After you defeat it, you get a weird-looking power star, which it turns out are unique to Isle Delfino, and are called shines. These shines power the Shine Gate, which in turn powers the whole island and provides constant sunshine. Normally. They're all gone after a weird Mario look-alike that is called Shadow Mario has painted over everything and been causing all sorts of mayhem. There's a trial. There's no jury. Mario is found guilty and is sentenced to clean up the mess that he didn't actually make. So that's the driving factor for basically the whole game. You run around town, stopping other big paint monsters and cleaning up graffiti, gathering shinies as you go, but pretty quickly the actual culprit does make an appearance and attempts to kidnap Peach. You chase him down and he escapes into the paint. It turns out you can activate these portals with water and use them to teleport to different locations in the region where there's more shines for you to collect and liberate. True to their word, Isle Delfino is a tropical paradise. There's the beautiful beaches, rolling hills, shimmering lagoons, a theme park, and so much more. Like in its predecessor, Super Mario 64, jumping into paint does allow you to pick up a star to go after, and the world kind of changes to set that up for you each time. Each level has a ton of shines you can get, encouraging you to explore every nook and cranny of this whole game as you chase after them all. Some are going to require just overcoming platforming challenges and navigating to annoying things. Some are going to involve little tricks involving enemies that you'll have to fight, and like for example this one where I have to get them to move over the corner of this mirror thing and then pound on the mirror to then launch them. And then there's other ones where you just get to a big boss and you just fight the big boss. There's pretty good variety, and it's pretty memorable. I actually quite like a lot of the boss fights, which is one of the biggest things that this does better than N64, where most of the boss fights are kinda just the same. This is much better. There's also these blue coins that you can get from a variety of ways. You can simply find them in hard-to-reach areas, or wash away painted M's to spawn them, or even do little races where you shoot water at one symbol and it appears at an identical symbol somewhere else in the area, and you have to get over there as fast as you can before the coin disappears. All of this exploration and platforming you do can get pretty tricky, actually. It's one of the harder games to get some of the stuff, obviously. It's still Mario, most of it's not that hard, but the hard stuff is hard. So important to your locomotion is, of course, the flood device. It does a lot more than just attack enemies and wash away paint. With the push of a button, you can toggle to different nozzles. I didn't wind up recording the others because of the upload schedule for the channel, but the base alternate nozzle is a little jetpack, and this allows you to glide. By itself, that doesn't do a whole lot, but in conjunction with Mario's full suite of jumping abilities, you can get really mobile. Some of the other nozzles are, for example, there's the rocket nozzle that just launches you really high into the air, which allows you to get to areas you could otherwise never get to. But if you combine this stuff with things like the terrain, these little elastic tight ropes you can jump off, trampoline canopies, buried traps and enemies that also can launch you into the sky, and more, every area lets you fiddle with things a bit to discover a new way to move around. All of these additional ways to do the platforming are terrific, and they lend not only to the action sequences, but also the puzzles. That being said, sometimes it's nice to do things a little more traditionally. There are secret stages hidden within each level, and if you discover and enter them, the Shadow Mario steals your FLUDD, though somehow you get it back, but they don't explain that. Video games. These levels are a lot closer to the Bowser levels in Super Mario 64 with the vague floating blocks and other far more gamified elements to the level design compared to actually like running through sandy beaches and stuff. Eventually, as you get more shines, different things start happening throughout the town, like the boats start running again, and after getting 10 shines, Shadow Mario returns and successfully kidnaps Princess Peach this time. After chasing them down via launching yourself in a cannon as a mode of transportation to the theme park, I do wonder if that's how everyone is supposed to get there, like if that's just how you go to the theme park, or if this was like an emergency thing. I like to think it's the former. But anyways, you corner Shadow Mario, only to discover it's actually Bowser Jr. This is the first game with Bowser Jr., and somehow his father's ranting has gotten so delusional, the poor kid thinks that Peach is his mother. So he set up this elaborate scheme to get Mario arrested so then he could quote-unquote save his mom, but didn't anticipate that the punishment would actually be just community service instead of prison, which now that I think about it, is probably also a reflection of his father. So what does Mario do after Bowser Jr. gets away with Peach again? More of the same thing. Still collect shines, still do platforming, still help the townsfolk. Peach? Coconuts? Aw yeah. Super Mario Sunshine, like pretty much every Mario game, emphasizes fun level designs and excellent mechanics, and doesn't take itself too seriously. Isle Delfino is almost my favorite setting in the whole franchise, and I love the things you can do with the FLUDD device. It also helps that this game has some of the best music in any Mario title, and the Delfino Plaza soundtrack is going to be stuck in my brain for at least the next month. Join me tomorrow as I talk about my 61st favorite game, where I can't believe that this company mismanaged 4 multi-billion-dollar franchises simultaneously. Don't quote me on the number. At least 2.